our strategic plan. And we have, we always like to show the persons that are involved, because this was done by our officers, and we want to really share a little bit of insight. Of course, I'm going to really just probably focus on 3 or 4 slides, because normally this would be a full presentation, so you're going to bear with us in terms of that. All right, now, of course, once you're starting with strategic plan, you have to know your vision. And the key thing, we are working with PMI International, which says worldwide organization will embrace, value, and utilize project management and attribute their success to it. And it is very important, as we said to each other, that we are ambassadors for project management, that we need to understand where we're headed, right? Because we have to understand that there's value for organization and that we are working to encourage. And I wish I could share a little bit more about even the strategic alignment in terms of even art and how we see ourselves, but it's just important to understand that we do have a vision goal where we're going. Now, out of PMI, we also have what we call 4 main core values, and I think we have to understand that framework for us to come down in terms of professionalism, knowledge, community and volunteerism, and the value of project management to businesses, because everything we do in terms of creating additions to your business, whether you're going to be doing a business on the side or you're going to be working in your organization to add value, we can utilize project management, and we have to attribute that success to it. Okay? Now, in terms of the local chapter, which is the Jamaica Dr. Bird chapter, we have coined for Jamaica our particular mission, which we are representing you, our project leaders and our project practitioners, Dr. Hale, which I will call you, and promoting what we call excellence in project management through professionalism and the use of standards and the methodologies that we are sharing. And that, I think, is going to be critical. Okay? Now, the Jamaica Dr. Bird, we in turn break down our mission in terms of the advancement of the principles, looking at career advancement, and just the recognition, right, of facilitating network in terms of how we enhance those values for each other. All right? And one of the things that our strategic planning committee did this year is that we looked at our SWOT analysis, which we don't have time to touch today, but we looked at the specific strengths and weaknesses which is in the Jamaican society currently, and how we can position ourselves strategically to address those issues in specific organizations and among ourselves. And then what we did, we started from a bottom up in that we generated several ideas through a brainstorming activity, and then we positioned those ideas on what we call a pick chart, which looks at how easy it is to implement, right? And what is the payoff, because obviously we want great value like any organization. And we came up with several ideas. And then we had to fit those ideas, of course, into the overall strategic philosophy that we have. Now, some of the key strategic focus that we have as a project management organization over the next 3 years looks at, and in terms of us, and each person has to evaluate this, but is looking at our growth in terms of our membership, because we want to extend beyond just the boundaries of Kingston, but across Jamaica. And so we need to grow our membership. We need to promote the project management profession, and we need to promote that value continually, because there is great value in that. We also look at the education sector, which I think is going to be very important in terms of the professional development for education going forward. And of course, we have to be financially viable, so we have to be able to manage our finances. Of course, I love pictures because we're a team, and just to point out in terms of our organization, the resources, we have 6 VPs. Now, one of the good things you need to know that when you become a VP, you're up for promotion because our Vice President of Programs just got a big promotion and she's now, well, in another week she's going to Washington to head up a region there. So we have lost our VP of Programs. One of the things, of course, we propagate or we promote is, advancement of the project management profession, and as people work and serve in the committees, they're progressing, they're recognized in their organizations and progressing, all right? So that's definitely a positive role. Of course, you're seeing Tanya, that's her current name, Brown. She is moving up to VP programs very soon, but she has been appointed by the board, so so there's mobility. And of course, the rewards of hard work is more work sometimes. The thing for you to understand, which is that we do a strategic plan, right, which documents all the various, the SWOT analysis, the risk analysis for the 3 years, and that's updated, which obviously right now we can't go into the details. But then from that, we take that over to what we call a scorecard, and a balanced scorecard. Now, we're going to spend a minute here. We start with the vision, and then out of the vision, we have two main objectives, which is superior practice for project management and then global acceptance of project management. Out of that, we look at some key markers that we want to achieve under those two headings, and then we look at the resources, the professional enablers, right? Some of the customer-centric organization's requirement, and how we're going to impact our stakeholders in terms of building and strengthening our stakeholders' loyalty. So this map is then taken based on our strategic vision, and then out of that, what we do is we look at how we align the various specific objectives that we look at certain initiatives. The key thing from here, because I'm not going to go through this, is that we have certain core services that we provide as an organization. And some of it is, of course, the looking at stakeholders' loyalty and how much communications we do with persons and how much commitment we have in terms of training, etc. Right? Then we have some extended services, which is looking at hosting certain international conferences and how we link with the international organization. Right? So, and this presentation will be available on our website for you to look through in terms of some of the details. And of course, you can have dialogue with the committee, and both for members, the strategic plan will also be available to you. So, there are some key things here that we're working throughout the year. And then what we do is, at the end of the year, which we did, we'll give you the measures in terms of our achievements against these targets, right? So we're always measuring the specific targets which is presented. And in fact, our year in review is posted on the website that looks at these specific initiatives for last year, because remember it's a 3-year plan we're dealing with. And that's why I'm sort of running through this a little quickly. Because out of this, we develop our calendar for the year. And again, we have specific stuff here that looks at how we want to add value to our members, what are some of the benefits, in terms of how we can contribute into Jamaica. And one of the key things we looked at, and I think Carlton, who is our professional development vice president, in terms of offering of what we call training in terms of preparation courses for certification this year, and also looking at enhancing our local component of training. And one of the courses that we did last year was a project management for IT, which we actually developed locally and offered through the Computer Society. And this year we want to offer that a little bit more widely to some of our members and also across Jamaica. So these are specific things. I think a lot of these you'll see, it will be on the website and will be also available in terms of things that we are planning for this year and that will be rolled out in terms of announcements. Some of it you would be aware of.